Howdy Connection Group leaders, happy Thursday. I hope you're doing well. I am coming to you from Lake Lavon. There it is right there. This is where we bring the students to church camp. We've been coming here for, I think this is year 5 now. It's actually raining right now. You'll probably hear the thunder and the rain a little bit. As you can see, well, you can kind of see, that has not stopped the students from playing at all. We're having a pretty great day. It's still just the first full day too. Y'all pray for us. There are 93 of us here total, which is pretty exciting. Already some great stuff being done. We're studying the book of James all week, which is going to be great. And I'm excited about it, I truly am. But I get to talk to you about the book of Nehemiah. Man, Nehemiah is fantastic. It's simple, it's practical, it's historical, it's sound. There's a lot of good stuff you can pick up from this. Chapters 1 and 2, gosh, growing up, nearly every mission trip I ever went on growing up, most of them were building trips. And so probably every other trip we would study the book of Nehemiah. And so I've spent a lot of time in that book. And it's really, really neat to see, both you see the heart of Nehemiah, right? God, I'm heartbroken. Think about this. God, I'm heartbroken for a land that I've never actually been to. Nehemiah had never been to Israel. He was born where he lived as a slave. He worked in the government. He was set for life, and yet he knew that that wasn't his home. He knew his home was in another spot. And when he heard that home has been devastated, he was heartbroken. That'll preach right there. That ought to be something that challenges us, because we've got to remember, as amazing as Texas is, and you guys know I love Texas almost as much as I love my mama, this isn't home. Heaven's our home. And heaven will never be devastated, but our hearts ought to long for that place, truly. And so it's fun to see that. And then I'm so encouraged to see that when he got bad news, you saw this, he didn't throw a fit. He didn't start an online petition. He just prayed, and he prayed and he fasted, and he did so for an extended period of time, because he just knew he needed God's wisdom on what to do. Lord, tell me what it is you want me to do about this. And so he fasted and prayed. And sure enough, it says that he went into the king 40 days later. And you ought to catch this. He says he went in and he was not sad, and yet the king looked at him and said, hey, you're sad. Which means one of two things. Either Nehemiah had a really, really bad poker face, which is entirely possible, or the Lord was revealing to the king, Artaxerxes, what Nehemiah was honestly trying to hide. Hey, there's something going on with this dude and you need to help. And I'm quite convinced that's actually the answer. That was a pretty good one. Especially when you consider the fact that like the king was ready to help. The king didn't say, shut up, you big whiner. The king didn't say, who cares? That's another nation. What do you bother me about this? He immediately says to this guy he probably cared about, and I would care about people who are keeping me from dying too. What can I do to help? And then it says Nehemiah prayed again. Instead of just going, ha, my moment has arrived. He said, Lord, help me. Give me wisdom. And then he laid out this plan, probably something God had already laid upon his heart. And then he prays again. And then the king responds positively and gives him more than he asked for. And then Nehemiah thanks God, which is beautiful. And then he goes home. He immediately faces opposition. We find him praying once more, both secret and public. And then he begins to humbly go and recruit help. There's some really cool stuff going on here that we can learn as far as our church strategies goes. God has given us a mission and a plan. He's given us favor. He's given us the tools that we need. We just need to be acting on them, but we need to be doing so prayerfully, regardless of what our positions are or how great our skill sets are, any of that stuff. We need to be constantly seeking Jesus and asking for his help. The beautiful thing is he wants to help us, and he's going to give us the tools, and he's frequently going to use people that we're not going to expect for him to use to help us. So it's really starting to rain pretty hard now. I'm going to go inside. Love y'all. I will see you Sunday morning. We'll be rowing into the worship service, smelling like camp and ready to worship Jesus with y'all. So we'll see you then. Bye.